I'm Danny, and this is the Scream Princess podcast. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Scream Princess podcast. And I am here back with one of my best friends, actress, writer, producer, CEO, co-CEO of Murder Mysteries Inc., Cheryl Neve. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. It's great to see your face because I haven't seen it physically for so long because we live too far apart now. It's very sad.
I know. We used to spend like all of our time together doing hikes and illegal hikes and drinking Prosecco. Now I'm so far away. I mean, we were never that close together. We were still like 2 hours apart before, but now it's like we must be about 7 hours now. 6 or 7
I
hours away
know.
from each other. You're like south as south can get, and I'm like as north can get until you hit Scotland. So
No, I need to come and see
I
you.
know, time for a road trip. I know Megs was talking about coming up in August sometime. But I need to like check dates because I think I might go to Norfolk in August for a little bit. So have to see if they can tally and
Oh, so maybe we could see you there
yeah, because she
if
was
that's
like she
kind
wants
of
to come up with you, but
closer.
obviously you have to do work.
Although
And it makes it
I
more
am
difficult.
popping to LA for 2 weeks in August,
Are
so
you?
taking some holiday and
Oh, you're going
leaving
back to
work.
LA. That's going to be nice because you haven't been for a couple of years.
Yeah, I love it so much. So we go
Oh,
there. But
it would be.
hopefully I can see you.
Yeah, it would be good for us all to get back together and do some girl stuff while it's still sunny up. And actually, the sun did come out because I know down south you've got glorious sunshine and you keep messaging me from your hammock every day. And I'm like, oh, it's raining. It's raining. And actually, earlier today, I did a podcast this morning and I was so tired, like even before the podcast. I think when I wear false eyelashes, it makes my eyes tired and I just want to go to sleep. And I was like, I'm just going to have a nap after this. And then, so as soon as I finished, I went to bed and I only woke up at 6:30 when Carl got in from work. So I've cooked dinner and we went and sat outside because it's actually really sunny now outside. So we went and sat outside in the garden and
Amazing.
we
I really missed you. Well, I missed you as my friend. I also missed how amazing you are at putting false eyelashes on people.
oh, it's good
I
that I
always
have my
used to
uses.
ask you to do my lashes and my hair,
Yes.
and yeah, I missed that help.
Oh, I can't do your lashes and your hair anymore. But you also used to do my hair. So I used to
Yeah,
straighten yours or put your like extensions in, and you used to give me plaits.
I
So
love doing
yeah.
plats, French or Dutch.
Yeah, I love having them. I feel like a little girl. I'm like, do plaits, do plaits. So
It's fun.
yeah, so I've got a long list because I know you were worried about what are we going to talk about, and I was like, I'm sure we're meant to be talking about because I mean it's a horror themed podcast, and we met on a horror
Of
film,
course.
so this probably isn't going to be that horror related. But I realized actually we have done so many hikes together, and a lot of them have been to kind of haunted or horror locations, and even when they haven't been supposed to be they've still ended up that way. So we've got all of that to talk about. We could talk about your career in film as a writer, as an actress. We've got loads and loads of stuff to cover. So where did it all begin? Like, how did you were an actor first or a writer first? Like, how did this work?
Well, the first ever time I was on a film set was on the set of Les Miserables, and I was a singing nun. I was an extra. I was drafted in with 12 nuns to sing this random song in Latin, and Hugh Jackman was singing something outside this convent scene.
Right.
And I just looked around, I saw everyone busy making the film, and it was so cool to meet Hugh Jackman. And I just thought, wow, this is kind of what I want to do. So I was in my early 30s at that point, hadn't ever considered film at all. And that kind of started my way. So I did a lot of extra work, then I did acting, then I realized I could write stuff to
Yeah.
star in. And then I just discovered I love writing and producing and being kind of more behind the camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Because
been a long
you've done
journey.
quite a lot of shorts, haven't you? You've written and produced quite a lot of shorts.
Yeah, that's where I started. Then I've been writing features and
Mm.
yeah, getting some features picked up. Yeah, it's just a journey, as you know. It
Yeah.
takes a few years to
It does, and I
kind of
feel
keep
like when you
going.
do one of the things, it's very easy to then pick up on doing another one of them. So, because I never thought I'd write really. And then when I was at drama school, we did writing modules, and then I was like, oh, okay, I quite like this. And I like it was not something I thought I would at all, but I think I found it like I quite like doing dialogue for characters. I like kind of creating like who the people are. And then I think when you're an actor and you're not working, then you should write because it gives you possible projects to then work on. So I think it's like keeping yourself busy, even if you can't, because you can't, no one can be on set filming all of the time. Like that would be almost impossible. Although I was speaking to a guy on the last podcast, it was John Paul Gates, and he probably works more than anyone I know. He's like constantly filming, like literally you'll see his post any day and he's always on set. So I'm amazed I got time with him, but that's super rare to have that as an actor.
It is. So you kind of have to think outside the box and wear a couple of different hats and
You
just see
do.
what works.
You do. And I
Yeah,
think
just
it's
be
like any
creative.
kind of creative journey because you're really artistic as well. You paint.
Yeah, I actually I did art A level and I do paint. I painted a prop for the first film I directed, Cheating Charlie. Copied a Van Gogh and yeah, did oil painting for that. So I should kind of
Yeah.
keep that up. I just need a studio where I can get really messy and just leave paints
Yeah.
out everywhere.
Yeah, so we moved in here and obviously renovated the whole place. And so I've got this vintage wallpaper, which is like, I don't know, like 70s wallpaper, you know, when it's like patterned, but I just painted over it. So it's like refreshed. And then Kyle did some painting and you know, when you do like the splattering with the toothbrush and it's all red up the
Oh
walls. And I was like,
yeah,
what have you done? And they had to repaint them because painted them with the wrong paint. So where it was like a satin paint, it's now got these little patches of matte white, which you can't really notice unless you know. But yeah, I feel like you need a studio if you're going to do art. Definitely.
exactly. And then you don't have to pack up each time. You can just
No.
leave it.
I've
That's my
actually got a
dream one
really
day.
big shed here, and it was like the old outhouse because it's a Victorian build, and so it would have been like I guess they might have had sinks in there, or they might have had like I don't know, they'd have done their laundry in there anyway. It's quite a big space, but it's a bit too spidery. So I was like, that would be the perfect space actually. It's not very light; you'd have to have the door open, but it would be a perfect place where you don't mind getting paint on the walls, but nah, spiders in the
Exactly.
shed. If I have to go in
Yeah,
there
I've
to
got a
get
shed.
if I
You
have to go in
taught
there to
me,
get tools, I'm like, I just like try and get what I need without looking out of the corner of my eyes and catching anything moving.
I know, and you taught me something that I didn't know the other day because I said to you,
Oh,
in my shed, I've got these weird, is that two do spiders have bones?
oh,
Because they were like these,
I've taught you lots of interesting things, I feel. Like bats don't
yeah,
lay eggs.
oh, we can't bring that up on a podcast.
No, spiders do have exoskeletons. That was what you were asking. You were like, how can they keep coming
Yeah,
in here and dying? And I'm like, it's just their skeletons because their skeletons are on the outside. So the spider will either, I don't know whether they shed either. I don't know whether some possibly shed and then grow. I don't know. I don't know if I might have made that up. Somebody watching will be like, don't be so silly. I don't know. But yeah, if they die, their skeleton will remain on the outside. So you know you often see like white skeleton spiders, don't you? And it's the yeah, it's
well, I know this now
you know
because you
that
told
now.
me.
And you know that bats don't lay eggs, which I can see where you're coming from because you did once ask me if bats lay eggs because they fly and they are the only actual flying mammal. So they are quite incredible in
Yeah, I did
themselves.
ask you, didn't I? Was that in Edinburgh when we were on our ghost hunt and
Yeah.
haunted cemetery walk?
Yeah, I've been back there actually. I've been back and done the cemetery and Arthur's Seat again, actually.
Did you get a ghost this time?
No, we didn't stay in Edinburgh. It was a day trip. So it's when we were living in the Scottish borders, and you could park your car at the train station for free, and it was like an hour on the train. So we just jumped on the train there and back. So yeah, we've been a couple of times, but just as a day trip, we haven't actually stayed over. So no haunted hotel. I'm trying to work out
But we
which.
got a ghost.
Yeah, we have got a ghost. So I think our hikes, I mean, we obviously met on Mannequin, which we did talk about. So if you guys watching want to go right back to episode 1 of the Screen Princess podcast, it was Cheryl and Megan who was on a couple of weeks ago on the show. And we did talk about how we met, but very, very quickly, we met on the set of a movie called Mannequin. And this is a question I actually asked my last podcast guest. I said, what's your favorite film you've ever done, but also like what's your favorite on-set experience? Because those two things could be quite different. And I think for me, like my favorite on-set experience would have been filming Mannequin because we had this like, 10 days camping on this mannequin farm. We obviously met, we made friends, and we had a really, really good time. But it's not going to be my favorite film. I mean, it's not released yet, but I don't think it's going to be my favorite film that I've made, but I'm definitely glad I did it for what we kind of got out of it in the end.
Definitely. What happened to your legs? Because this is my mannequin leg table right here.
Mine are in the
Um,
loft.
in the
Mine are actually
loft, you
loft.
mean you're not using
No, because I painted mine. You painted yours red because that's like your theme color, isn't it? And I did Wizard of Oz legs. So I painted them green, but I only used like, I think I used watered down acrylic paint, and then I put some socks. I had some black and white stripy socks. I put them on and I did the shoes with the glitter. But I don't really have any space in here for them. But I did just see somebody had some in a garden almost exactly the same. And they'd put them in the garden and put a plant on top of them. So I don't know whether I could, because can you remember, there was a hole. So we have these like legs, obviously you can see Cheryl's in the background.
that?
There was a hole in the top, but I made the makeup artist, Pumbaa, Alexander Gent, who's also been on the podcast, I made him tape up the hole because I was like, I don't want any spiders coming out of these into my car. So I'm wondering if I fill it with stones because they're too light and they can get knocked over. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they'll work in my garden because it's a bit of a fairy garden themed garden. Well, so I guess they're fairy tale. I'm wondering if I can do something like that, maybe.
I think you should get them out the loft.
Yeah, they're right at the back. I've only got a tiny loft anyway, but they're right at the back. So I was just like, I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't know what to do with them. But that was really fun. And you've got some arms, haven't you, as well?
I think my kids confiscated my arm and hand.
They
They
confiscated your
said they
arm.
were haunted, so
Well,
I don't
why
know
are
where
the
they
arms
went.
haunted and the legs are not haunted? Because do you know what you could have done with them? And I've seen it, is you could put them in your wall, and if you had them in the bath, you can then put your champagne glass in the hand. And like if
Oh,
you
that's
put
a
it
great
between the
idea.
fingers, it will hold your drink for you. Or you could use them as jewelry holders. So you could put it in your bedroom and you can hang like necklaces and things on them. So there's many functions for random mannequin hands.
I mean, if I can find them, I can use it in that way.
Yeah.
If not, we need to have a road trip back to the farm.
It was in Grantham, wasn't it? So I think Grantham was like
Yeah,
I think it's about 3 hours from here, so it's probably about the same from you. It's like somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But I don't
I
think
feel
we'd be able
like
to
there's a
convince.
market for furniture out of
Yeah.
mannequin parts. I mean, if anyone's watching or listening and they want a table or
Didn't
something
we
weird
say this
out
at
of,
the time? It was like we could start a business making
yeah.
cool mannequin furniture parts. They had some really cool ones. I remember them having a Playboy mannequin, and I really wanted it, but it was like they were going to charge me £150 for it, which wasn't a lot because it was one with like fake boobs, and I was like, oh, it's like the me version of a mannequin. But then I thought I don't really need a mannequin, and I was living in my flat in London, which was much smaller than where I live now. So I was like, I don't really have anywhere for a full-size mannequin as well. I kind of wish I'd bought it, and I wonder if we ever go back and it's still there, I will ask. I'll inquire again.
Okay. It should be on our list to do,
It
our
should.
life list
I don't think
to
we'd be able to
return to the farm.
I don't think we'd be able to convince Megan to go camping though.
No, I don't think she's big, although she's very good at camping. She does
She's
have
really good at
fires, she
camping.
builds stuff, she gets us off cliffs. I mean,
Yeah. So she's really good at it, but she's just over it. Whereas I feel like I still love it. I kind of like doing the outdoorsy stuff and like even if I'm not good at it, I mean I'm not good at the spiders. So you have to always save me from the spiders and
apart from ninja ones, I'm
apart from
scared of
ninja ones.
ninja
Yeah,
ones.
but if it's me or you, it's gonna be you. I'd be like, right, let's douse the tent. I'm setting it on fire. And you're like, oh, it's my tent.
Oh,
So
yeah, I miss
after,
hiking with
I
you.
know, after the film, then we had the lockdown. So it was COVID.
We did.
And we very much went on a lot of hikes because I think not at the beginning when you weren't allowed to see anybody, but when it was like you were allowed to go outside, we were like,
Mm,
right, well, we could go outside in our bubble. So we used to meet in places, didn't we? We'd be like, right, let's meet here. And we actually ended up joining the National Trust and joining
we
English
did.
Heritage because they always have car parks. Even though the houses were closed, you could park there and you know it'd be a really good jumping off point for a hike because they're always in like areas where there's loads and loads of land. So we ended up like going to loads of places. And I was going through my phone actually because I was making the thumbnail for this. And I was going through my phone to see like what pictures I had of us. And I was looking for that one where remember it was an autumn hike. I think we'd gone fungus hunting and we took different outfits so we could take pictures in the
Oh
this
yeah.
forest. I don't really remember where we were, but there was that picture of us with the autumn leaves, and I was like, I really want that one. I found it in the end. I went through all of our hikes, and there has been loads. We've done so many. So I think we started, I think we went just to Epping Forest for a little one. Then I came down to you
Oh
and we
yeah.
went on the South Downs, which I remember was a super hot day. And
We were chased by cows. We were very scared to cross a field. I remember that.
yeah, yeah, because they're in the middle. Like I don't mind crossing a cow field when like you can walk on the edge. But they were, I remember they were in the middle and they were like coming towards us, and I was like, don't know how
It's
to
a
get
bit
past. I mean, we
terrifying.
did it. We did it. And Kira, I was filming something, and then my film turned into slow motion, and I sounded like a demon.
Yeah.
Can you- I didn't realize, and I realize it now, and I don't have the video, but you can actually speed it up so that it's normal. And
Oh, well, it
I
was
think it
quite
was the two of
quite
us trying
funny.
to get through the cow field. But we've been through
Mm,
many more cow fields since then. That was like an early experience, and now I feel like we're
it was.
way more intrepid than we used to be, which is why I have this on. So if anyone's wondering,
Oh
like
yes.
I'm usually here wearing like some kind of horror t-shirt or something, and no, today I'm a brownie because we
I
realized,
feel like you got the t-shirts and the badges for us because we both used to be imps when we were
yeah,
little. And I remember we were drinking prosecco while we were sewing our badges on. So
oh.
mine's really wonky. Mine's like like this. I should have worn my brownie top today. That would have been a
I
good
was a really
theme.
last minute thing. I was literally just like, I need to change my t-shirt because I was wearing that. Otherwise, I'd be wearing the same t-shirt twice, like in 2 weeks in a row, on the podcast because I've obviously already filmed one today. And I was like, oh no, I'll wear my brownies t-shirt. That will be cute because I haven't worn this on here before, and I haven't worn it for ages. I feel like we need to do some more hikes and wear them. We need to adventure.
We
But
really do. I miss adventures.
I know. So if anyone
I
doesn't
feel
like
like
those, go on.
drinking prosecco was is quite a theme for us.
It's quite a theme. A hike followed by prosecco and often pizza.
Yeah. Yes.
There was often a lot of pizza. Um, but yeah, so and if anyone who doesn't know, like brownies are like the English version of like younger girls, what's guides, girl guides. So in America, it would be like Girl Scouts, and I think brownies is probably called something else. I don't know if they're always called Girl Scouts or I don't know if they have a different name like beavers or something. Like we had rainbows, and I don't know. But you have these different houses, and I think there was imps, pixies, brownies, and gnomes. And imps are the ones with the yellow, the little yellow emblem. I think there was like a blue one, a green one, and a white one. So yeah, we had a chat and we realized that we were both imps and we decided that. But how many times have we gone on hikes and people have stopped us going, "Are you brownies?" And we're like, "Yes." Or we used to
Yes,
be.
we are.
Yes, we are. We used to be. I think once a brownie, always a brownie.
I know.
Don't you
Do you
think?
remember the motto? Wasn't there a motto you had to say at the
Yes.
end of every session?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Go on then.
You had to do this.
Yes, yeah.
I just nearly did like a rock one. I was like, or a surfer, but it was, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God, to serve our Queen and to help other people and keep the Brownie Guide law or something. Something like that, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
there
we
was a
had a
song
queen
as well.
then.
There was a song as well. I used to hold hands and sing a song, but I can't remember the song.
Song. I
It's
don't
like,
remember a song.
we're Brownie Guides, we're here to lend a hand. And then that's all I got. Can you remember that
Amazing.
one? Can you remember that
I
one?
don't remember that.
Oh yeah, we used to hold hands and sing that like in like at the beginning or at the end. I don't know. I kind of
Wow.
wish I was still a brownie. And I was a guide. Were you a guide? but I was only a guide
I
for,
wasn't.
I
I was
didn't
just a
stay.
brownie. I was just an
Yeah,
imp.
no, I was a brownie, and then I went into the guides, and I can't. You were birds, and I want to say I was a robin. We had birds on our badges. So I think it was robins, blue tits. I want to say I was a robin, but I didn't stay in the guides. I did it for a few weeks, and you'll get to that age where you're like, it's not cool anymore. Which now I'd be like, it's super cool.
I
But
know.
you're kind of going into high school at that point, and you don't want to be a girl guide,
It's not
which is
cool to have badges anymore.
no, but like in hindsight, I would think it's super cool, and I wish that I'd stayed. But that's like lots of things, isn't it? When you say like when you're younger, your goal is to stay up late and go to parties. And now my goal is to like go home from parties and go to bed like by 6 o'clock. You change, don't you? You want to do different things.
So grounding would be like your dream
I
days.
know. I know. I'm like one of the only people who enjoyed lockdown. Like, obviously, I didn't enjoy the fact that it was COVID and you couldn't see people, and and obviously lots of people got sick and didn't make it. But other than that, I really enjoyed myself. I was like, I'm being paid to stay at home. This is incredible. I can wake up when I want. I didn't like that the gym was closed, but then it did make me go out a lot more. Like I was driving to the park and then running around the park every day, or I was up here for part of it and I was running on the beach, and it did make me go outdoors a lot more.
Yeah, we did so many hikes. Do you remember though, we got really starving on one of our walks, I think in the New
Yeah.
Forest.
It
And
was.
at that time cafes weren't open and pubs weren't open and
Yeah.
for some reason we didn't bring much food with us.
I know.
I
We learned
remember
our
being
lesson.
starving. We did.
That might have been
So we
quite an early
knew.
one. I think that was quite an early hike for us. And then since
Yeah,
then, we always packed a lunch.
we knew that we were going to get hungry. We needed food and drink on
Well,
our
I think
walks.
we thought we'd find places, and I think we just didn't go past anywhere for ages. I remember seeing like horses, donkeys, cows, and I mean, it was beautiful. 'Cause when we saw those like that patch of dead trees, remember that?
Oh yeah,
Did we have the dogs with us? I think we did. Did
we
we
could
have
have
dogs?
done, did we? Did
Did
we?
we?
I just remember
We
being
definitely would have had
starving.
Dolly. I wouldn't have left Dolly at home. Did Hugo
No, we
come?
always had Dolly. Would I have taken Hugo?
I don't know. Can you remember she used to
Maybe.
bully him? So Dolly was like this tiny little thing, and Hugo would want to be friends with her. And Dolly had no teeth, so she couldn't hurt him, but she'd like just bite him with her gums.
I know.
It was a good job she had no teeth, really, because she would have been vicious if she had teeth. Poor
Yeah,
Hugo.
Dolly didn't like Hugo, but Hugo loved Dolly. The
Yeah,
times I did let him out, because he's a bit naughty, so I can't
yeah.
always take him.
Yeah, he's a real dog. He's like, oh, a puddle, let me jump in it. Oh, mud, let me roll.
Yeah.
And whenever we'd go into a field and they had those metal troughs for the cattle to drink from, he'd use them as swimming pools. And sometimes they'd be full of algae and he'd come out green like a swamp monster
No, that's my dog.
and he'd get in your car.
I know.
Can you remember the time when we had to go through that field though that had horses and we had to climb the fence? It was like a
Oh
stile
yeah.
and we were like we had to carry him over and he was green and we were
You
green.
I know, but we always get quite messy, don't we? We're always falling down
Yeah.
something muddy and yeah, we need to plan another hike, Danny. We need to.
Mud is slippery. Mud is
Mud
very
is very
slippery.
slippery.
I think the last ones that I got really muddy on were in Scotland, and one I was with Kyle, and we were walking alongside the river, and it was just getting muddier and muddier. And we were like skating around. At one point, he's holding onto a tree and holding onto one of my arms, and my legs are just going like this in the mud, and then I just went splat like a cartoon. And then another one, it was actually a Christmas hike I went on by myself, and I was doing these three hills, and it was muddy and I slipped in the mud and I went into a gorse bush and I didn't realize I knew I'd
Mm.
scratched my arms, but he got home later and he's like, what have you done to your face? And I had all these like scratch marks on my face and neck. So I get banned from like going out by myself now because I always end up injured. Like just
No.
just very clumsy. Just very clumsy. So I'm looking at other hikes. So we did a really cool round road trip, and this leads into the hair as well, where we were going to Edinburgh, but we went to, was it Whitby on the way? So we covered Whitby Abbey, we went to the Dracula experience, so that was kind of had a horror thing going on. And then we went to Edinburgh and stayed in a haunted Airbnb, went on a ghost
Caught the
tour.
ghost.
Yeah, I went on a ghost tour, went to a museum, and then we went to York on the way back, which is again a city known for its ghosts. And I think we did the Bloody Tour in York, and we went to the ghost
Yeah.
merchants. So
Yeah, we got a little ghost in the
yeah,
shop.
we did. And I've been back there, and the queues are literally around the corner, so I haven't got another ghost. Um, so maybe if we ever go back to York, we can go to the ghost shop again.
We need to get a ghost.
But Whitby was lovely, wasn't it? We found that lovely fish and chip shop that did actually do a vegan toe fish.
Yeah, yeah, it was lovely. I loved that
Not sure
trip.
if that's
So
still
beautiful.
open because we went to Whitby and I don't think it was open. So I don't know if it's closed down, which would be very sad if it had because it was good. So we just
Did you
got,
go back there?
yeah, we went to Whitby and we went to the Abbey and then we did the Dracula experience just because it's so silly. And
I
like
know.
it's I think it's gone up £2. It's £6 to get into now, not 4.
Outrageous.
I know, but it's what it is. It probably it's like it's not scary. It's not in any way great, but I feel like you have to do it if you go,
Of course you do. Of course you do.
which is a nice thing. We found actually last time I went, I found an antique shop which was pretty cool. So I had a little wander
Oh,
around there, which we'd have liked. And we because we enjoy picking up haunted items from antique shops as well.
we do. I
We
mean, I'm
do.
hoping this lamp here isn't haunted, but you've got a
No.
haunted doll. Did I find the haunted doll and
Yeah,
then gave it to you? Oh, were we together?
we were
And
together, but you went back and then you bought the dolls. So we'd been to,
yeah,
was it Farnham? Farnborough?
Farnham, yeah.
Farnham. So we went on a hike in Farnham and we stumbled across this massive antiques emporium. It seemed like some kind of like medieval building. And you'd go up some stairs and there'd be a room going that way, and then off that room there'd be a few stairs going to a room that way, and off there it was literally like this never-ending building. And I think it was in two halves, but I don't know, we went up so many of these little flights of stairs and like all of these little secret rooms. It was kind of reminded me of something of Harry Potter, like where all these rooms are like never ending, but in the real world the building's only like this big. And
It was
you
heaven.
found that lamp, which was it was like
I
a West
did.
German lamp, and there was this doll, and but we were obviously hiking. We had our backpacks, and they had like snacks and stuff. So you weren't going to carry a lamp around, but it wasn't too far from you, so you went back the next day. I think you asked them to hold it for you, and then you
Mm.
texted me like, "I got you the doll, and she's here, Roberta."
Isn't she gorgeous?
She's gorgeous. She's very dusty, but I daren't dust her because I feel like the paint on her head's crumbling off
Oh,
and
so
like around her
grim.
face. Look at her.
So you know the child who used to play with her? Do you think that child's dead now?
Yes. Yes, but I feel like they'd be happy that she's still alive. Like she's got no clothes on. I think she's super cute. I like her little rosebud lips.
She's so
Kids don't
haunted
make
in a
dolls like
way.
this anymore. Like
Good.
she lives in my bedroom. She sits on, I've got like well, I suppose it's a kind of dresser. There's a mirror, but I've got a dressing table separately. So she just sits up there next
Oh,
to my golly, which you're not supposed to have anymore, but I've had it since I was a little girl, so I've kept it. So they sit together. My haunted toys.
she's delightful.
She is.
I'm glad she's up north now and
Can you
not
remember when
south.
you had her in your house and your son was like, when are you giving this to Danny?
Yeah.
Can you do it soon?
He thinks we're so weird, but
I
I
don't
think
know
we should
why.
embrace it.
I wonder what he'll end
Um,
up doing. I wonder if he'll end up liking horror because he's kind of been immersed or whether or not. I don't know.
he actually does watch a lot of horror. We watched The Babadook the other day,
What did you think? I
and
didn't really
I,
like it. What did you think?
I find everything scary, as you know. So
Yeah, yeah, you do.
that
You
was your
do.
favorite pastime, wasn't it? Making me watch horror and then watching me scream
I'm
and
not gonna
go,
lie. I really, really enjoy
next
watching
to
horror
you.
films with you because it's the sounds that you make. Like you have your own kind of commentary in like horror noises. So we watched, was it the autopsy of Jane
Oh,
Doe?
we never finished that one, and I
No.
never want
So you
to.
never know what happens at the end, which is actually worse. I feel like you need to get to the end of a film to like
Oh
feel
no, I
like
couldn't.
we were sat in my bed, weren't we? And we had the projector screen. So when I was in London, I had like a mezzanine bedroom. So the projector screen used to come down from the ceiling and just kind of like enclose you in the bedroom because otherwise the bedroom kind of overlooked the rest of the apartment. But Yeah, we were like sat in there watching it and you were terrified.
I
I don't
remember
think we
going, oh
watched anything
God,
else
oh
that
God.
scary. I think, have we watched, did we
We did.
watch, we might have watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. We watched a few
Yeah,
things.
and Final Destinations, and we
Yes.
watched something with it was like a ventriloquist doll.
Oh,
I
Dead
can't remember.
Silence. It
That
was
was
Dead
really
Silence
creepy.
with Ryan Quanten from Home and Away, and then he was in True Blood. Yeah,
Mm,
that's a really good film. Ventriloquist dummies are creepy though.
I know, so
There's
creepy.
the episode of Buffy which has a ventriloquist dummy, and it's one of my favorite episodes. I can't think of the name of the episode, but it's a very good episode if you're into, creepy, creepy dummies. But
I
then after,
feel like we are sometimes in our granny era. Like we like our National Trust and our cake
yes,
and
tea and cake.
fungi. But then on the other hand, we do quite creepy things together. Like we caught a ghost, and didn't we
We
take
caught a
tea
ghost.
around? We did catch a ghost, and then we took tea around an autopsy table once. I bet not many people have done that.
That's true. Yes, that is
And we
very
threw
true.
knives, and the
I was
guy
telling
wore an
I was telling
outfit
Kyle
from
about it, and he
Human
was like,
Skin.
"What? That's weird." But I
It
don't think
was so weird.
it was.
That was the most haunted place we've probably ever been in. Like,
Yeah, and we didn't catch a ghost there. You're talking. I think we'll talk about that in part two because we've only got a few minutes left in this half. But we'll talk about the Scottish ghost. Is that where you're saying we caught a ghost?
yeah, we caught it from the graveyard.
Yeah, so we'd gone from Whitby, we then went to Edinburgh, and we just squeezed we managed to squeeze in a lot, and it was like a 3-day trip or something. And we went to a museum in Edinburgh, which I remember being really good. And then we went on a ghost tour. We climbed Arthur's Seat, went to the graveyard, which has got all of the crypts and things. And then we got back to our Airbnb, and what happened?
Well, we were in bed. It sounds like we shared a bed a lot, but
We
we
did.
did because we were just we just did. So yeah, you turned the lamp out. It went dark in the room, and we
Mhm.
were lying there going to sleep. And then suddenly there was this really loud click, and the lamp came on all on its own.
Yeah, so it's
And
one of
that
those
was
old-fashioned lamps where you have to press like the button thing straight through to the other side. So it can't just turn itself back on. Like to turn it off, you've had to press it right the way through. And I think it's so cold. I remember being, it was
it
like
went
it was
freezing.
October in Scotland. It was freezing, and I think we were literally had our heads under the covers to try and like keep warm. And like
Yeah.
you shot out, and I was just kind of laughing, and you thought I'd turn the lamp on, and I was like, no, I was under the cover, like I was just going to sleep. But you shot out. I just laughed and then went back to sleep, and you you were like awake all night with your teeth chattering.
Yeah, like I've read in novels that the characters' teeth chatter, but it does actually happen. It's a thing because my teeth were chattering, and I was terrified to go to the loo when you were asleep. I was like, no, don't sleep. It's a
But
ghost.
I feel like the ghost, which we named Bob, which is why then we named the doll Roberta. I feel like the ghost was being helpful. He might have thought, oh, you're a little bit freaked out in this, like, I mean, because the Airbnb, it was like nicely done out, but it was like an old building, wasn't it? Might have just been thinking you were scared of the dark and trying to help you and turn the light on.
And we actually got a free stay because we didn't pay, did we?
No, because you emailed them. I don't think it was Airbnb though. It was like something else, and you emailed him, didn't you, saying just out of curiosity, have you ever had anybody say that this place is haunted, and he just never took our money? So
I know. So probably there are other experiences there.
yeah,
I can't remember where it was.
but then in which case, Bob was a helpful ghost. He saved us money. He was a good ghost, Bob. And then
Yeah, but it was
after
terrifying.
you unplugged all of the lamps
Yeah,
and
I've had
everything
a fear of
electrical.
lamps ever since. I
I'm
always
amazed you
unplug
bought
them.
that lamp from an antique shop.
No. When our chat's finished, I'm gonna unplug it from the wall so it can't
Do
turn
you
on.
only have it plugged in when you actually want the lamp on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny. Well, we are out of time for part one, so I'm going to see you back here shortly for part two. Welcome back to part two of the Scream Princess podcast with this week's guest and one of my very best friends, Cheryl Neve. I think we got just up to some of our hikes. This has kind of become like a haunted hikes podcast, really. We got
It
up to
has.
where we've been to Edinburgh and then we went to York and we did the bloody tour in York, which was incredible. So we saw like haunted graveyards and we learned about Guy Fawkes. Well, we knew about Guy Fawkes because everyone in England knows about Guy Fawkes. But we you saw the like place where he was actually born, which is now a pub. And we went to the York Ghost Merchant. So there's the cutest little street, which is one of the streets I think that inspired Diagon Alley in Harry Potter, and it's where these kind of medieval buildings are they're not medieval, they're Tudor, aren't they? I thought medieval and Tudor
Yeah,
were the same, and I learned that it's completely not. It's like a completely different time. These buildings that are like very, very close together, where I think if you reach out of one, you could touch the person in the building opposite from the window. And there's a ghost merchants, and you can go in the shop, choose a ghost. And then you can take pictures of your ghost in these little kind of scenes. And then when you pay for your ghost, they put it on the ghost train and it takes it to the front of the shop and you get your ghost.
it's so cool. I love
But
it.
we bought like the same one and I bought mine in white and you bought yours in black. And they were like just ghosts covered in blood. But then I realized mine looks like a used tampon. I didn't even really think it at the time. Then I got it home and I was like, oh, when it's like out of the ghost merchants and it's just by itself, it very much looks like use tampons. So it's not the one I'd recommend you buy if anyone's going to the ghost merchants. But I did think
Yeah,
every
we need to
time,
go back.
yeah. Well, I thought every time I went to York, I would go. And then I went with Kyle, but it was, again, it was in October, I think. And it was like the queue, there was a queue for the queue. So we got into where we thought the end of the long queue was. And someone came over and said, oh no, the queue's like on this next street and we have to like bring you here. So we gave up. And then I went again with my mum recently and she wasn't really up for queuing at the Ghost Merchants either. So we'll have to
Mm.
queue if we go.
Didn't we see Dick Turpin's grave?
Yes,
Was it
we
York?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it
York.
was. Because we
That was
stayed.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that because we stayed in a little Airbnb, like a shepherd's hut, didn't we? And
Mm.
so it was just like a little bit out of town and we could walk into the town. We walked around the wall of the city. So we did, again, we squeezed in loads of stuff. I think we were there for one night.
Yeah.
We had 2 days and we did a lot of
So we
stuff.
went to, was it a prison? I remember you being in a jail and
There's,
taking a picture of you like this.
yeah, no, that was at the museum. It was like York
Oh, it
Museum or
was.
something. And they had
So it
like
wasn't an actual castle.
I don't know. No, I don't. It was something. And
Oh,
then there was somewhere called the Treasurer's House, and we couldn't go because I think it was still when there was COVID restrictions and you had to pre-book, even though we're National Trust members, you still had to pre-book,
we
so
are
we couldn't get in. We are, we couldn't
proud
get in.
members.
I still haven't been there either, though. So I haven't done that on either of the other times I've gone. So it's still on my list of, it's meant to be like the most haunted building in York, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, so you'd obviously
Oh,
love it.
yes. Very funny. Didn't we go to a pub that was meant to be really haunted and we didn't see anything?
Yeah, I've been at the Golden Fleece.
Number of Yeah, but there was another one near where we were staying. I remember we sat in
Oh,
there and we
yes.
had a picture book about the different ghosts you're meant to see,
Yeah, there
or
was.
like people's pasts.
Yeah, there was. I don't know what it was called, but it was a really old pub, wasn't
No.
it? So yeah, it was out of the city centre. Yeah, I can't remember what that was called, but they did have a book, and they were really proud to bring it over to us and show us, weren't they? Like all the
Yeah.
possible ghost sightings. Yeah, that's a good one,
See, I
actually.
don't know why I'm happily talking about ghosts because I'm on my own in my cottage. And as soon as we stop talking, I'm going to be all freaked out and
You're going to
turning
go
the
around
lamps off.
unplugging all of your electricals.
Exactly.
How will you watch TV tonight? Will you unplug it before you go to bed?
Probably.
Probably. I go with that when we got back and then the world opened up again a little bit more. In fact, when did we get our tattoos? Was that the same? Because I know that was definitely around October because we went to Norfolk and we did hikes
That
in
was
Norfolk too.
definitely lockdown. It was 2020. I
So we
remember it
just jumped in the
was
car and went to visit my mum.
yeah.
Well,
And
she
then we
was
randomly
working
got
anyway. She was working, so she was like, "Well, I can't like shell like what was it called when you didn't go out shield because
oh
she was still
yeah.
going to work. So she's like, it makes no difference if you two come. So we were like, okay. we went
So
and
we got
stayed.
matching tattoos.
We
Do you
got
reckon we
matching
can
tattoos.
show the camera our tattoos?
Yeah, like you got birds and I got bats. And
So yes, I've got swallows.
I got bats. And then
Yeah.
I also got my stars and I got a three on, so down on my girl power tattoo. I got
Oh
that one on the
yeah.
same day. So yeah, I got three done. But I'm having my bitch removed. Look, now it's the bee's faded. Can you see? And it's going
Yeah.
to say itch, and then I'm going to get it turned into witch. And there's a snake thing I want, so I'll get those two done at the same time, I think. That's
Have you got any other new ones I haven't
plan.
seen? You've got
Just the
your
one
matching one
just the
with
one I had for
Kyle.
Kyle. We've got our
That's
sun and
nice.
moon ones. That's it though. I haven't had anything else new. No.
See, I've only got my birds, and I do kind of want another tattoo, but I don't know what I would get and where.
Yeah. I
So,
remember as soon as
um,
you had it done, you were like, what am I going to get next? You're on a
it's
mission.
so relaxing. It was better than a massage.
I actually didn't think it hurt though. I was expecting it to hurt on my neck
No.
and it didn't. And the one on my shoulder, I didn't even, honestly, it could have been just like someone brushed me with a feather. I didn't even feel it. It's weird how some of
Yeah.
them hurt. I mean, some parts of this one stung, but some of it didn't. It was weird. And actually getting the
Mm.
removal, I've always been told that the removal hurts more than the tattoo. And the first time I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then the second time he did it on a higher setting, and I was like, it kind of hurts. And then it's like a laser. And at one point you saw this like tiny little splat of blood splattered out of me. It was like a proper like horror splat. And I was like, cool,
Ooh.
cool. But yeah, it's not actually too bad. I don't think I'd want to get a major tattoo lasered off, but that was not so bad.
So
Because
it's going
yeah,
to read witch and not bitch.
yeah, it's going to read witch and not bitch. And I don't know if I have to do some shading or something, if just in case you can still see. We'll see. I think it's going to take like two more sessions to get it removed, and we'll see what happens. I might get a broomstick or something. Who knows? Who knows how to do it. But yeah, so we went to Norfolk and we got the tattoos, and then I'm looking at our hike list here. So we ended up going to Whitstable. So that was another haunted hike. That was well, it wasn't really a haunted hike. I was filming and then you came with me, didn't you? And then we did the Peter Cushing tour. Do you remember? So
Yes.
obviously we went to the Peter Cushing pub and we went to see where his house was and went to his favorite tea rooms.
Yes. I remember some really good chips there. Was that on a
Yes.
walk with some chips? We always seem to have good chips.
Yeah, and mushy pea, mushy pea. I had a mushy pea fritter.
Yeah. And there
Yeah.
were haunted children's toys in an antique shop.
Yes. We always find an antique shop. Wherever we go, we find
And
an antique shop.
wasn't there some kind of football match going on? I remember us singing
It
something.
was the England game, and
Oh
we were
yeah,
singing the Southgate You're the One song.
that's it.
Taking us away from the horror fans and into the football fans. See, we like, we're all rounders. I wore my England shirt and you wore my little wristbands.
Yes, yeah. We
Yeah.
probably had Prosecco then as well to fuel the singing.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's usual that we do. It's usual that we do. And then we went to Pluckley with Meg's, which is the Screaming Woods. That's meant to be the most haunted place in the UK. It's a place in Kent. And usually when we go on hikes, I have the OS map and the map gets us around because we've got its arrows. But we actually had it wasn't even a map, it was a printed like description of where you need to go, instructions basically. And it's like, and you turn left after here. I remember it was like the most stressful thing because we didn't have this map with an arrow to follow. You remember that?
Yeah, didn't we have to ask someone in a
But
village
we
hall
needed we needed the
for
loo. So we
directions?
asked, yeah, we asked somebody and then she let us use the toilets in the village hall. But we didn't find any ghosts on that walk and the pub was closed. We were going to get food in the haunted pub, but we couldn't because it was closed.
Very
And
sad.
and then we climbed Kinder Scout on Flying Ant Day.
Yeah, we did.
And that was horrific because I just remember there being ants everywhere. And I've learned a thing. Do you want me to teach you another thing? I've just learned this
Yes,
the other
please.
day. So, seagulls on Flying Ant Day, they obviously it's like amazing like banquet. So they like dine on all of these flying ants, but flying ants have formic acid in them and it like affects the seagulls and the seagulls will be a little bit drunk and a little bit woozy like they're on drugs. So like if you see them in the road, they might not move quick enough for your car so you've got to like be very careful and they might kind of fly a little bit lopsided or whatever. And it's because of the formic acid in the ants. But then I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like the French word for ant is fourmi. So because of the formic acid. There you go.
Hmm.
Just another
Oh,
little
wow.
useless fact for you in case you ever go to a pub quiz without me and then suddenly that's the question that wins
I
you
will
like
know
the
the
jackpot.
answer.
Exactly.
I kind
Exactly.
of find them quite cute, those big ants. They're kind of cute.
Yeah, but
And I
you
don't mind
also,
daddy long legs. You hate
oh
those.
no.
Um,
When we went to that was in Norfolk when we went to see the seals at Horsey and it was Daddy Longlegs Day. Like we always end up on hikes
yeah.
every day and it those oh and they were all flying up the sand at us and you thought we were cute. Magic, you're not cute.
Are you gonna bring one of the cats on screen? I want to see them.
She's being a pest. She sat here earlier next to me the whole time, but she's like our boy cat is lovely. Like, he's really loving and affectionate, and the girl one, she just isn't interested in you at all. Like, she'll sit next to me when I'm doing a podcast or whatever, because I think because she likes the chair. But as soon as she wants feeding, she is just relentless. So first thing, like 4:30 in the morning, she just does this little sound, like this meow sound, like, and she just keeps doing it. She's constant. And if you ignore her, she'll climb the curtain, or she'll attack the fairy lights, or she'll do something. She's coming over. She might come up, but I feel like she wants feeding. But cats have like what, 2 meals a day? Ours have 4 meals a day
Yeah, my
because I'm
cat's
at home.
always pretending he's starving and he's not,
Yeah,
but
and it's because
he's a
I'm at
great
home.
actor.
So I think if you go to work, like you feed them in the morning, you feed them in the evening, but like I feed her in the morning, then she'll go ballistic if I don't feed her in the afternoon, and then about this time she wants feeding, and then I feed her before we go to bed because then I think, oh, maybe she'll let us sleep. There she is, a little bit
Oh,
longer. Say
she's
hi
so
to Auntie
cute.
Cheryl. Say hi, Auntie Cheryl.
Hi.
Say
She
hi,
looks
Auntie
very
Cheryl.
happy to be
Yeah, she's
hugged.
not interested. She's not interested. She will let you pick up like a baby and rub her tummy, but I think she actually wants feeding right now. She's very naughty. So yeah, so Pluckley. And then the other time we climbed a mountain was we climbed Scarfell Pike and then we came home and we had the day off. So Megs came and met us and we ended up going to Avebury.
Oh
And again, this
yeah,
was
those
still
stones.
when the world was still kind of locked down, like not completely, but kind of, because you were allowed out, but the pub, again, the haunted pub was closed. So we couldn't go and eat.
Oh,
Like remember restaurants were
the
still closed.
pubs are closed.
Yeah, I know. There was a shop that was open. We got the green Calippo lollies.
I think I introduced you to that one. That's my
Yeah,
favorite one. I don't think we've
yeah.
had it before. Yeah,
I didn't know they existed.
they sure do.
Oh,
We've
they're the
done
best
some really
one.
cool things.
Yeah, and we bought some witchy things in the witch shop. And then we found that excavated tomb, like the
Oh, that was the
barrow.
best moment ever.
I know, and we nearly missed it because we were gonna cut the hike short. I think Megan needed to get back, and then she was like, "No, no, you know what? We'll finish the hike." And we never would have found that bit had we not continued.
Because when you
And we
see
had the
those
dogs.
mounds, you kind of know they're graves, but I didn't know you could actually go in
I
them
would
and
have thought they were
what
just
they
like
were
a
like
pit, though.
inside. Yeah.
I would have thought they just like dug a pit, put the bodies in, did a mound. I didn't realize they actually were
Mm.
like stone, like, like
Yeah,
levels and
tunnels
things. Like,
and
yeah, tunnels and
structures.
levels. It's
It's
amazing.
so cool.
But now you know when you're
Yeah.
walking around, that's what you're looking at. Like you're seeing.
Mm.
And remember, Megs was like, "Can you see that soldier standing on that mound?" And we were both like, "No," because Meg sees dead people. Um,
Yeah,
and we were like, "No, no, can't see that one."
can't see anyone, just a sheep.
Yeah.
A
And then we
bird.
had a nice little picnic sat on the wall somewhere at some farm, and then we wandered home. But
Yeah, we've
yeah,
had some good adventures. We need to create more adventures
we
and
do.
memories.
And I think she
We
said she's
definitely
up
do.
for doing kind of adventure walks, but not like 17-mile ones up and down hills with with sheep. So I think
Well, I'm sure we can arrange
we
something.
can get her to join us on stuff. There's loads of places up here that I want to take you that are really cool. There's a waterfall that I went to actually not long ago with my mum, but it was still a little bit cold. It was like May, but I feel like if it's August, you'd be able to get in the water.
Oh, I love
In the
wild
water.
swimming.
I know you love a wild swim. Um, and I got in. I did get in the sea up here last year once. But it is very cold. It is very cold. We didn't go to
I
the
need to
beach
come
that
up and
much.
see you.
You do. You need to come up. You need to come and see me. Okay, when we
Yeah.
went glowworm hunting,
Oh, yeah, it's this time of year. For anyone
is
who
it?
doesn't know about this, It's their very brief mating season. So the female bugs, their bums glow like luminous green. I thought this was like a myth. And then you can go on this walk and they're very bright and you can count them. So every year I go with my kids and we count how many we can see. So it's actually this time of year, which
Yeah,
reminds me I must go.
yeah. But we
Um,
went. I can remember there was an owl, and the owl scared us. 'Cause we went,
yes.
and obviously have to go in the dark. So it must have been quite late because this time of year it doesn't get dark till like 10 o'clock, does it?
Yeah. And so we
So
counted glowworms and then we saw an owl. It
we
was
went on a
very
little
cool.
walk, didn't we? We took ourselves on a little
Yeah.
night hike, like the crazy people that we are.
See, we're not always grannies. We do have
No.
some mystery about us.
That was like a really rare late night for us. Like usually we don't stay out that late. Not really.
No, that was the exception.
Well, I think that's all of our hikes chat about on the haunted hikes, but I do feel like there's many more haunted locations we need to go to. I'd like to go to Transylvania one year and do like the
Oh,
Dracula.
me too.
That
Yes,
would
that
be
would be so cool.
that would be a really cool one. So when you're doing your writing, like you have actually written all kinds of things. Like I've got here, you've done World War II dramas, espionage, sci-fi, Western, horror. Like you don't have like a genre that you tend to stick to. You're like literally all round. What's your favorite?
I mean, I love most genres, other than maybe romance. I'd find that kind of boring,
I
like a
feel like you'd
rom-com.
love that.
I like watching it, but I feel like I kind of like creating quite dark characters or psychologically disturbed people. I find people fascinating. So I wouldn't want to just do like a soppy kind of movie. So
Yeah.
my favorite, I think, is probably spy or thrillers, and creating something with twists that you don't quite know what's going to happen.
Mm.
And I love stuff like that. Kind of more on the dark side, not entirely horror in the same way you do. But yeah, I'd say thrillers and psychological dramas are maybe my favorite. I do love history. That's another thing we've got in common.
Yeah.
World War II stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, Cold War stuff,
I don't
you
know much
know.
about the Cold War. I always feel like when I was at school and when you're learning about the war and I had no interest in like the World War. I liked like the Victorians and I liked the Tudors and I didn't wasn't having interest in the World War, but now I'm like super interested. Like I wish I'd kind of stayed doing history and didn't. I feel like I made bad choices in all of the things that I did.
But we always say, don't we, how we would have loved to go to a tea dance and,
Yeah.
all the soldiers.
Yeah, I know we would have. I feel like we definitely would have.
Mm.
I just read another book actually. It was set and it was like set in the wartime, but it was like magicians. And I've got a book for you that I've kept
Ooh.
that I bought and I've read it, so I've kept it for you. And that's like a World War time it was a murder mystery, but it's set in the wartime.
Oh,
So it's like got
sounds perfect.
all of the things that you need, which leads us on to murder mysteries. Did you see
Well,
how that
we have
segue
a
happened?
murder business. I like calling it murder
Yeah,
business.
I
So it
do
makes us
too.
sound so weird.
Yes.
But we don't actually hire hitmen, just to confirm.
No, we don't. But remember when we were trying to set up the business, or you were trying to set it up? We set up the business. So this is another one of our lockdown ideas. So you'd had your birthday and you couldn't have a party. So we did like you bought this murder mystery thing.
Yeah, it was my 40th, and I wanted to obviously spend it with the people I love. And I couldn't see anyone, so we were all locked down, but we did a murder mystery via Zoom. And it was actually quite cool because we still dressed up and we
Yeah.
played our characters, and that got us thinking we could actually write something better.
I think it was really hard to follow because the scripts
Mm,
were like in the third person. So instead of having a script, and obviously from our point of view as actors, we're like, well, you'd see your lines and you'd read them. It was kind of hard. It was like she says this and he says that, and it was really weird. It was weirdly written, and we were like, I feel like we could make this an easier game to play. So we ended
mm.
up after a few drinks, I think we ended up on our laptops like buying the company name, setting up the company
Yeah.
and I think you bought the web domain. And then I think the problem was when you're trying to sort something out with I think we had a problem trying to get a bank account to start with because they were like, "Oh, we do not support this kind of business," and we were like, "We're a game, it's a gaming business, it's like an entertainment company." And then you were trying to set up something with it was either Groupon or something, and you had to really explain because I think with the email
Yeah.
address has murder in it, and people don't
I
like it.
know they didn't like us. And another problem, we 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 impulsively set up our business while drinking Prosecco, and there
Yeah.
was pizza involved. And then the next day we were like, what are our passwords? Where did we write them? How do we log into stuff? Like,
Did we write them?
yeah, but I lost my notepad. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you had that zebra notepad that went missing. Was
Uh,
it fairy?
that could have been fairy.
Can you remember you
Sounds
had a
like something
notepad?
I'd have.
So I feel like we also wrote a song, which I do have
We
written
did. We
down.
did. We wrote a song about heartbreak,
Yeah, I've actually been
inspired
playing with it recently.
loosely.
I had Kyle playing the guitar to try and like get a tune going, but and then I think I was like, oh, give up now. It's late. It's like 2 in the morning, my poor neighbors. Um, yeah, I think we had loads of issues setting up a
We
mystery
did.
this. But it's called Murder
I've
Mysteries
heard
Inc.
of our business that we created out of lockdown. We've got some great themes. We've got 1960s, we've got steam train, we've got haunted castle. What else have we got?
We've got
Pool
a
party for
gym.
the summer.
Yeah, so like we tend to have themes for them, but also like the dates. So I think the steam train is that like 1930s or 1940s.
Yeah, so like
There's
a
like a
period one.
nightclub disco, but it's the 70s, like Murder on the Dance Floor. We've got a gym one, but it's set in the 80s. So I think I wrote that one with in mind, like the resurgence of all the 80s kind of horror stuff and people loving things like Stranger Things, and like the Fear Street. Like, that's kind of got an 80s vibe. Um, you've got the Haunted Castle one. There's a Wild West one. Is
Yeah,
that like Victoriana? I feel like.
yeah, that's like
I mean, is there a
what
Dame
else?
Widow Twanky or something? Wait, no, Widow. What is? I'm
There
trying to
is a
think of the
widow.
character names. All the names are really like innuendo-y.
Yeah.
What else have we got? There's a prom
I
one.
think our most popular one, I think, is Murder on the Dance Floor, and that's a
Is it?
70s theme.
That's a
Yeah.
70s. Oh, and you've got the Hollywood one, the golden age
Oh
of
yeah.
Hollywood one. That's what was it? What was it called?
Death on the Red Carpet.
Death on the Red Carpet. That's it. So I think there's like we got like 8 or 9 up there. I'm currently writing a
Yeah,
Bollywood one. Currently
amazing.
have a Bollywood one in the works. And the reason really is because I bought a new outfit. I want to play it myself. And I want to dress up. But do you know what we
That's
actually should do?
incredible.
We should get Megs and Brad, and we should all play one online. We should do an online one because we set up the
We
games. So
should.
basically, people can play them in a party setting. So if you wanted to buy one of the games, we do for 6, 8, 10, or 12 players, or we can do custom games. But basically, whoever's hosting will get a list of all the characters, and you can basically give each person their character pack digitally. You don't have to print them out, and that person will have everything they need to know how to play the game. So all of their scripts are in there, all the question and answers are in there. So the only thing you really have to kind of make up yourself is, getting into costume if you want to do costume, and also when it comes to like accusing people at the end and trying to work out who you think's done it. But you can play it around a party. So you could do like a first course, second course, third course meal and play rounds in between. Or if like Cheryl's birthday, you can't be with everybody, you can play it via Zoom or like, any kind of online chat thing. You play it through, I don't know, WhatsApp video messaging or whatever, as long as you can get enough people on the screen. And so it's a great way of being able to kind of get people to do stuff if you can't be with them as well. So they're super
No.
fun. I mean, the
And we
rounds
have
are,
some cool voice files, don't we, for the inspector? So we've had
yeah.
a sheriff with an American accent. We've had I think, a Scottish accent. You play the female character.
Yes,
Um, who's she called? Agatha something more.
Agatha Marbles.
Yeah, yeah. So
Agatha
you,
Marbles.
do don't you
It
put
was
on
like a
like
cross
an
between
old
Agatha
lady's
Christie and
voice?
Miss Marple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because originally I think we were getting people we knew, actors we knew to do the voice files for us. So we also have an extra pack for the inspector. So if you have an extra person, so if you have like, nine instead of eight, you can get somebody to play the inspector. So maybe the host might want to play the inspector. They still don't know who's done it till the end, so it doesn't ruin anything. And in between each round, the inspector comes along with like tells you what clues they found, and then they go off to do whatever it is next. And then at the end, they do this whole big reveal. Um, but we were getting men we knew, actors we knew, or friends to do the voice files. And then we came to doing a custom game for somebody. And it was one that, we had literally 2 weeks to get done. We had to like get it written, all the packs designed and get it packaged. And we were like, well, why don't we just make it female and one of us can do the voice? And then we were like, well, why don't we just do that anyway? Like, why don't we have a female inspector? Because I don't know why we didn't think of that. Like two female writers didn't think, oh, let's have our inspector be female. I think just because the stereotype is that it would be a man and a trilby.
Mm.
But yeah,
So
it is now
yeah, we've
me.
we've branched out.
We've branched out. It is now me. However, I think Kyle's done one,
He
and
has. It was
and
really good.
and for our adverts and for the videos as well, I've had him do one because I couldn't do the American one. It wasn't the inspector files, but it was the voiceover. And I tried to do it and I just couldn't do the accent. It just wasn't working. So I was like in Gold Digger Town.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's impressive actually.
Yeah,
Thanks, Kyle,
he
if you're
did a better
listening.
job. He did a better job. He likes doing his little voiceovers. I think he genuinely enjoys it. Don't know if he probably doesn't. And I think he's done a Scottish one as well. I think he did the Scottish one
Yeah.
because I couldn't do that either. And he lived there for a long time, so he can he can do the Scottish accent.
I'm quite proud of our murder business.
Yeah, I love it. It is super fun. It's super fun. So if you
It's
want
fun.
to have a look at what we've got going on there, it is www.murdermysteriesinc.com. And I think on Instagram it's Murder Mysteries Inc., I guess.
I think so, yeah.
I
We
think
have so much fun writing it. Like I giggle away when I'm writing all the innuendos and the
yeah,
puns,
Cheryl
and I'm
loves
like,
writing a rude innuendo.
when I share it with you, I'm like,
I know. And I can picture you and I can hear you when I'm reading it, like your little laugh.
yeah, it does make me laugh. I amuse myself.
So what have you got coming up next? Have you got anything coming up?
Well, so for ages I was working on a psychological thriller called Shifting Skies. Basically, it's about a couple on their honeymoon. They go to stay in a hostel. They're on like a motorbike trip through could be could be any kind of country. They wake up the next day and the wife's gone missing. So then you start to wonder, did the husband is we don't really trust his perception. Did she exist? Did she not exist? Did he murder her? It was she just in his imagination? So it's that kind of film.
Okay.
So that's been picked up by a company called Dropkick Pictures. It's a German slash international company. They've worked with John Malkovich before, so that's quite exciting. So I'm currently working on the latest draft for that one. So that is an exciting thing to be working on. I'm working on a horror idea, which I can't really talk about, but it's exciting.
Exciting.
Um, and also, someone came because I've been working with this lovely guy in New York called Ari, Hit and Run Productions. I've been writing a sci-fi script for him because he's filming a pilot. But he's
Amazing.
introduced me to someone who wants a Second World War script potentially. So I've been
Ah,
chatting to her. So I've always got things I'm juggling and thinking
mm.
about, and yeah, keeping busy.
And we've got a TV series that we've written that we'd like to make.
Yes.
So
Yes, we wrote 6 episodes in, didn't we, in lockdown?
yeah, we had a time in a house, and it was good it was good to see how we wrote together. So we kind of had the idea,
Mm,
and I think I told you the idea I had around my mum's kitchen table, and then we sat with our laptops and we like hashed out a plan for 6 episodes and what would happen in each episode, and then we the boy cats just chased the girl cat in here, and then we kind of went obviously back to our lives, and we took 3 episodes each and wrote them. So and they were like alternate episodes, and so I think you wrote one, I wrote two, you wrote three, I wrote four.
mm,
And yeah, so we have it and it's kind of ready to go. We wrote it as kind of a vehicle that we could also be in, but we'd be open, obviously, not to being in someone who has
Mm.
lots of money for the scripts. But
Yeah, it's
it's
called Hex in this
Hex in the
Hex in the
City.
City, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's
Uh,
super fun. And I actually saw there was I actually saw a woman's got like a book, a series of books, and it's something similar. I don't think the characters or anything will be anything like it. It wasn't called Hex and City, it was called Hex
mm.
something anyway. And it was about some women that kind of, but it was different to ours. I mean, no one would come up with our characters, do you know what I mean? It would be very different. But yeah, we had some really
Love
good
our
ideas for it. I'd
characters.
love to like put our heads together and see if we can actually at least film the first episode as a pilot.
Yes.
I mean, maybe we could,
Yeah, I just love the because yeah, the three characters are so different. They're
yeah.
witchy in their own ways, and they
I feel
yeah,
like we
we
should
had
try
so
and do
much
it. We should
fun.
try and get funding for a pilot and do the and
Mm,
get the first episode shot and then see. And that's why we went to the curiosities of the fifth corner from the fifth corner and we had tea around or took tea, as you say poshly, around the autopsy
okay.
table. We took tea.
It's true. We were looking for locations because one
Yeah,
of I don't want to give up away too much in case anyone thinks, oh, great
yeah,
idea.
great
But
idea.
yeah, we were looking for locations that are slightly off the wall, like the
Yeah,
Curiosity place, which is very off the wall.
yeah. And we went along to this place is it Curiosities from the Fifth Corner or of the Fifth Corner? I'm not sure which.
Mm.
And and Henry, the owner, very kindly like let us go there and spend the day. We met his dog called Hoggle, and
Oh
it's like
yes.
it's a was it like those Mexican something dogs? Mexican, I don't know, it's bald
Uh,
anyway, and he's
I
looks like a
mean,
little
no
kid.
offense to it, but it was the probably the ugliest dog I've
I
ever
know, but he
seen.
was cute because he was ugly. He's
Yeah,
fugly. Was
yeah,
fugly, but
fucking.
is very cute. And so there was a Royal Dalton autopsy table. So it was a proper china table, which so it must have been Victorian. And he'd had a
Insane.
special glass tabletop made for it, hadn't he? Like especially made. So they turned it into a table so you could dine around it. And he served us some posh Japanese tea
Yes.
around
He
this
was such a
table
creepy.
that many
They
people
were
have
like,
had their insides removed on and whatever happens. I mean, I've
I know.
heard stories about like autopsies now. So yeah, like we've it was
And
I don't think
there
many
were like
people would
real
say,
human skeletons
yeah,
everywhere. The ventriloquist dolls. The wind was kind of blowing through, wasn't it? Like there
yeah,
was a lot of noise. He was playing creepy classical music, I remember
yes, which you
as
probably
well.
loved. And he had bits of human bone beads in his
Yes.
beard. And then we did
Yes, and
then we
human
did
skin.
and then we did was it knife throwing or axe throwing and you were really good at it. I was rubbish.
I was worryingly good at throwing a knife.
Yeah, you're like the innocent sweet one. And I was like, oh, and like I barely hit the thing, and you're just like bullseye, bullseye.
I was imagining someone's face. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I was just looking at the target.
You should imagine many people's faces when you throw them. It'll make you feel better. I mean, I bought you a voodoo doll.
Well, you did. I can stick pins in it. And yes, I love it. That
I
was
love it
my
when it comes
Christmas
around.
present,
I
wasn't
love
it?
it when it comes around to Christmases and things, and we're always like, let's see what we got each other and how well we know each other. And I was like, got you a voodoo doll. I feel like you need it.
I know.
No, that was a super fun day though. So yeah, I
Yes,
think we should try and make a pilot. I feel like we put our heads together, like the three of us. We can rope Megs in, and
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's such a cool story and a cool
it
idea.
is.
We
And
can't
even
just let it
if we
just
can make a
sit there.
pilot and like, I mean, because it would be cool to get like loads of money to make it, and like, or we can just try and make it so we actually get it made and make it still make it good.
Mm.
So we need some
I think the first
locations.
episode we could do on a fairly good budget as long as we've got
Exactly,
the
because it's only
locations.
they're 30-minute episodes, so we should be able to do it. Let's put our heads together. We need to have a meeting. We need a
We
Hex
do.
meeting. Because we're also in a
We
girl
do.
band called Hex.
We are. We do a lot of things, don't we?
We do a lot of things. I mean, your kids are like horrified about the fact that their mum's in a girl band.
Oh, yes, so embarrassing. I'm sure secretly, deep, deep, deep down, they think it's
Yeah, like I would think it's really cool if my
cool.
mum was in a girl band. You remember when they saw the video for Trick or Treat, and I think it was your eldest, she was like, I died, I'm dead.
Yeah, they're very embarrassed by me. They think I'm very weird.
You're a cool mum.
Oh, I don't think any mum is a cool mum.
You are, you're a cool mum. I think you're a cool mum. You go on hikes, you are in a girl band, you write movies, like it's
Yeah,
loads of good stuff that you do. And now you've got this cool cottage with legs
I
in it and
do.
haunted lamps.
Yeah, but it's not haunted.
It's not
I
haunted.
hope.
It's not haunted. So what are some other like we've got like 4 minutes left, so some other like career highlights.
Career highlights. Oh, Mel B video. So I was producing the video with Mel B for my friend Fabio, who's the composer of the tune she was dancing to. And you came with me on set,
I
and we
begged
had
to go and be an extra because I love the Spice Girls.
and Megs as well. The three of us went. It
Uh,
was Yorkshire, wasn't it?
mm,
Um, and we had a fantastic time. Yeah, you can check out the video on YouTube. It's called Love Should Not Hurt, and she kind of portrays her experience with domestic abuse. It's quite a hard hitting video,
mm.
but we had an amazing time behind the scenes, didn't we?
Yeah, she was great in it, and she was like a proper trooper, wasn't she? Remember she actually run through that
Mm,
field with bare feet, and the field was full of
yes,
sheep poo because we did a walk around it,
freezing.
didn't we? You fell over.
Yes, I fell over and went back to set with really muddy trousers.
Yeah, we did a little escape, but yeah, and then we had tea and cake afterwards.
Yes, the cake. Yeah, we ate the wedding cake because we got one for a prop, didn't we,
Yeah.
for the
I like
set.
we all took the
Um,
flowers home. We had those giant bouquets of
yes,
flowers.
so many flowers. And I told Mel B, I said, "This is my friend Danny, and she really loves you."
I
And he
know.
was
I
like
was
really
like,
embarrassed.
I think I looked at you. I was like, of all the things you could have said, that was what happened. It's true though. I do. I love all the Spice Girls. Apart from Jerry now. Jerry's lost her spice. She's boring. She doesn't even believe in girl power
Oh,
anymore. She calls it inner power.
but that's sad.
She was the spiciest one. So now Mel's my favorite
Ah,
because she was nice.
yeah, she's awesome.
It
Yeah,
actually would
she
have
was
ruined my
so.
life had she not been. You know, they say
I
don't meet your
know.
heroes. If I'd have met a Spice Girl and they hadn't been nice to me, I would have just, I'd have come home and I'd have burnt
You
my dolls.
you would have been so sad.
I'd have been so
Yes, because you
sad.
have a really cool collection of dolls.
I've
I
got
remember
Spice
that in
Girls
the
dolls
boxes.
and I've got a Spice Girls
Yeah.
watch and I just smashed that too, but she was really nice, so it's fine.
Yeah, she was so nice. Such a
Yeah.
trooper. She just kept
I'd
going.
have
But
had to
that,
have, I'd have had to have like deleted my girl power tattoo and turned it into something else.
no, inner power.
Inner power. Inner power.
I
No,
think that's one of I've got so many highlights, but that shoot was really cool. Like
that
such
was
an amazing
incredible.
crew and the subject matter and how we filmed it and that you and Megs were on set as well. That was just
Yeah.
awesome.
You need to do another video with another Spice Girl so we can come again.
Yeah,
Spice
who
Girls
can
or
we
Kylie
think?
Minogue. Anyone else I don't think I'm bothered about, but if it's Spice Girls or Kylie Minogue, I'd want to come.
Yeah, that was great. We had a good time.
We did, we did. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, coming back and chatting about Murder Mysteries Inc. and all of our haunted hikes and a little bit about your career. But I need to bring you both back again. I might bring you both back for the Halloween episode. Yeah.
That's an honored episode because
Yeah.
Halloween is your favorite time of
It
year,
is,
and
but we've spent Halloweens together and done things. So I think, yeah, I'll bring you both back. Bring you both back in a couple of months for Halloween.
that sounds awesome. Thank you for having me.
You're
It's
very
been great to
welcome.
chat.
I'll hopefully see you soon. We have to make this happen.
Yes, we need to make plans. Let's look at our diaries and make a plan,
Yeah.
and I'm going to come and see you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
See you later.
Okay, bye.